Well, hello and welcome everybody. It's lovely to see you all again. Yes, I'm busy painting. Oh, and welcome to new subscribers as well. It's been lovely to meet new people and have contact with new folks. I'm glad you like coming along on the journey. Yes, as I said, you can see I'm busy painting, but obviously I'm not talking to you about the painting because this week is Self-Reliance week. And obviously self-reliance can mean quite a few different things to many people. I like the term self-reliance above the term self-sufficiency because they're very different things, and I've spoken to you about this before. If I can find the video that I've discussed that in before, I'll put it up the top. But basically, to me, self-sufficiency means I can do everything myself, I don't need any help, and I can provide everything I need for myself. Can you see that? Tiny. And it's not a good way to live, because it means you're cutting yourself off from everybody else. And some people might like that, that's up to them. But for me, I don't want to be cut off from everybody, because I think it's a good thing to be able to what was that saying? There's a saying that explains what I'm thinking about. I can't remember where it came from or who said it, but the gist of it is the man that lives by himself and for himself is apt to be corrupted by the company he keeps. And I love that, because it means that if you live by yourself and for yourself and completely exclude everything and everyone else, you're going to be corrupted by yourself. The selfish, self-centered side of self, to the exclusion of all else and limiting life. So I don't want to be self-sufficient, but I would like to be self-reliant. And to me, that obviously, as I've said before, is a few different things. Number one, the one most obvious one would be self-reliance in financial means. I would love to be able to be self-reliant without any help and be able to pay all bills and meet all responsibilities completely from our own income and our own help, our own means, financial means. That would be wonderful. But it's not possible at the minute. But there are other things I can be self-reliant in, as you know, from the garden in our home, where I can use the make, do and mend, or the recycling and upcycling principles. So it's not just about being environmentally friendly or responsible, but also kinder to our own wallets and trying to save money and making do. So that's one side of self-reliance. Another side of self-reliance is mental self-reliance, in that I think self-reliance as far as mental health goes is taking responsibility for my own feelings, my own thoughts, the way I treat myself. That to me is a very important part of self-reliance. Being motivated by myself, finding my own motivation and inspiration to do things, because it's very easy to quit and give up on stuff and expect somebody else to take responsibility for my well-being, and I don't want that. That's it leaves me open to being vulnerable, I think, not being resilient, not being able to cope when things are not going so well. So for me, mental self-reliance is about being resilient, being able to cope with whatever life throws at me. It's just a personal thing, and it depends entirely on the individual, how they feel about these things. So I'm not trying to tell anybody what they should or could do for themselves. I'm just saying how I view it for myself. My self-reliance includes writing in my journal, which I haven't done often, not for a while because it's been so crazy busy, but it is an incredible resource to be able to write in a journal, to put things out of your mind, worries, concerns, experiences, and it saves it for another time when you're in a better frame of mind to go through it again and read through it, and it helps to make sense of things. It saves my sanity. That's one way I can put it. Saves my sanity. Oh dear. I'm going to have to start that again. Look, it's all skew. How did you go skew? See, that's because I'm chatting. Now the trick is, will I be able to get that off the white without smudging it and making it pink? Here is the proof of the pudding. Oh, fiddlesticks. There we go. Sorted. Now I can start again. I'm trying to remember where that middle line was. Being distracted while chatting. And of course, and this is spiritual self-reliance. Again, it comes down to my own attitude of being able to motivate myself to take care of my own spiritual well-being. My own personal attitude and feeling is that, yes, we have a mortal body. We're living on a mortal planet with a mortal life, but I feel that we are eternal spiritual beings having a mortal experience. So to me, mortal life is not the only part of life. It's a part of a bigger picture. That's just my personal opinion. You know, each to their own. It's my personal feeling on that. And so if I'm a spiritual being, an eternal spiritual being having a mortal experience, then it's surely I need to look after that spiritual side of myself as well. And to me that includes, for being a Christian, my, reading scriptures. It also includes pondering and meditating on things and nature. It also includes spending time with people I love and family. It includes looking after myself physically so that, the old saying, healthy mind, healthy body, and the other way around and all. That's kind of how I feel about that. So that's my thoughts on that. Of course, see, I'm thinking now where else I need to go with this. Yes, I think some gold has to go on there somewhere, don't you? I'm going to put a red fringe around this mask, because this mask is here because it's a natural knot in the wood and as it turned, it looked like a mask, a set of eyes. And I just thought that was so quirky. I thought, well, that's got to be made a feature of. So I've turned it into a mask on the face. Yes, it's still got the hair and moustache. Do you know, all these crafts that we do, we don't really make any money out of it. We make a little bit, helps us through a couple of small projects of a year, gets us a little bit of wood for the next year. So it's not a money maker. It's not a business. It's just a hobby, really. And so to keep going and pushing ourselves to, or myself to keep going for the hours and the time and the effort that I do, that takes resolve, self-control, discipline to motivate and bring myself to do these things. But not just that. I think it's the love of it, the creativity. It's so important for our mental health and our mental well-being to be creative, to find something creative to do, whatever that may be. So the creative side of the craft is something that I really like, and it makes it easier to get myself to do all these things. It really does. It makes it much easier. Right, I think it's time for the gold. Much easier to motivate myself. A refined, classic and smart gold. That should look nice with that red. I didn't want to do silver because I've got a few white ones with silver, blue ones with silver, so I didn't want to do silver and red, and I think it needs to be a nice luscious gold and red like that, something warm and Christmas season affairs anyway. That's exciting. I'm always so nervous when it's time for that. Always so nervous when the craft fairs come around. However, I feel that I've done quite a bit of preparation as far as the display goes. I've just got a box to sort out of my stationery and admin stuff and that ready. This evening I shall do that and get that ready. Everything else is in a pile ready. I'll show that to you in a bit. And I'll post another video of my craft fair preparations a little later. Because that's also part of self-reliance, making sure everything's ready. And I do think, I've mentioned it before about prepping. I am a prepper. I am not a doomsday prepper. I am a prepper in everything else in life. Just because I like peace of mind. And I like to be able to not stress so much. I think I just tended to stress too much over a lot of things, and some things that generally are out of my control. But if I can eliminate a lot of those things where I do have control over things, and it's not about control. I know we use that word, things out of my control, but it's not about control. It's about recognizing where I do have an influence, where I can change things and when I can't, and finding peace in that. Letting go of some of the stresses that I usually bring on myself, that I need to do so much and achieve so much. But I don't have to. I really don't. Some things I can let go of. They're not going to change my life. They're not going to improve it. They're not going to keep a roof over my head. They're not going to keep me alive any longer. They're not going to improve my family's well-being. So those things become less of a priority. And I think that's also part of self-reliance, is prioritizing things. What is the most important thing to me, and focusing on the most important. a friend of mine gave me a little list. She can make a square or a list of 4 things, 4 categories. I wish I could remember what it was. Most important, important and urgent, important not so urgent, not so important but urgent, and then not important and not urgent. And when I sort them into things like that, it helps to do the right things at the right time so that I can focus on what really needs doing. And I like doing things that way. It really works well. Can you see what I'm doing? These tiny, tiny little dots. There, do you like that? See, it looks better already. That one is coming out quite nice. This is the most unique one of all of them, really. And I really enjoy doing it. I can't wait to get them all finished though. This is the week where I have 3 craft fairs in 1 week, and it'll be exhausting, but I'd like to get them all done because after this I've only got 2 left. That's all I've got this year. 5 days. And next year I'll be trying to get onto something that is in order to focus my time on something that will gain us financial freedom, financial self-reliance. And I have been doing a little bit of research to help me figure something out. I have been figuring out more of a timetable and a to-do list for creating online courses and writing my books. So I've got that kind of plan for next year. I just need to fill it in. The synopsis is done and I need to do the proper planning. It's kind of like having a business plan. It gives you a timetable and a schedule of things that you need to do able to get you from where you are to where you want to be. To do it in steps and to do them in the right steps so that everything falls in place. So, I mean, a lot of people can get on with stuff, just get stuck in, do it haphazardly, and it all comes out perfectly fine. They end up falling in a pile of muck and coming out smelling of roses. I am not one of those. I have to take things a little more ordered for me to get it right. And I think that's also part of self-reliance as well. Figuring things out. And as for that, I think that is enough for now, and I'll show you when they are finished. So I just wanted to chat and share with you some of my thoughts, a little bit more detail than previously about self-reliance and what it means to me and where I am at the minute. So for now, I think that will be it. And until the next video, hopefully by the end of the week, we're not going to show you a bit more of the fairs I've been doing. And please do tell me how you feel about the subject. What do you feel about self-reliance? Are you on a self-reliant journey? Are you already self-reliant? Tell me what you think and feel about it, and let's have a conversation down in the comments section below. So until next time, my dearies, my lovelies. I know some people hate it when people say that. Have a lovely week. And I shall speak to you again soon. Bye-bye.